Thank you, Jason. The U.S. has announced it shot down an anti-ship cruiser missile in Yemen early Sunday morning. It comes after the U.S., along with British and coalition forces, struck at least 30 targets in Yemen at 10 different locations. The strikes in Yemen come just days after the U.S. strikes on Iranian-backed groups in Iraq and Syria. And the U.S. said those were retaliations for the death of 3 U.S. soldiers in Jordan. CNN Pentagon correspondent Oren Lieberman has more on the attacks in Yemen.
For the third time in recent weeks, the U.S. and the U.K. carried out joint strikes against Houthi targets in Yemen. This time, the coalition airstrikes targeted 36 targets across 13 different locations in Yemen, as the U.S. and the U.K., backed by a coalition of Australia, Bahrain, Denmark, Canada, the Netherlands, and New Zealand, try to disrupt the ability of the Iran-backed rebel group to target international shipping lanes in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. It was U.S. F-A-18 fighter jets taking off from the deck of the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, as well as 2 destroyers, the USS Gravely and the USS Carney, launching Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles that took part in these strikes. The U.S. went after underground storage facilities, command and control, missile systems, drone storage and operation sites, radars, and helicopters of the Houthis. So in that target list, you see the effort of the U.S. to try to disrupt the abilities of the Houthis to continue to attack commercial vessels as well as U.S. warships. In the statement from the joint coalition, they also specifically mention a January 27th attack when the Houthis successfully hit the Marshall Islands flagged oil tanker, the Marlin Luanda. This is worth pointing out because the ship had to issue a distress call because it was burning, forcing a U.S. destroyer to respond, as well as others. And that's the grave nature of what the U.S. sees here, and why the U.S., the U.K., and others see it as so important to respond to the Houthis and let them know that if the attacks continue on international shipping, so too will the U.S. and the U.K. strikes on Houthi targets, again, that attempt to throw off or disrupt their ability to continue these attacks. Despite these latest U.S. strikes, the Houthis promise the attacks will continue. Oren Lieberman, CNN in the Pentagon.